Do you hear that? That's the sound of all your Upwork connects going down the drain because you're submitting the wrong job proposals. But don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to give you 10 steps. 10 steps that you can implement to help you save your Upwork connects and ultimately submit the right job proposals. If you've been freelancing on Upwork, then you're aware of the recent Connects policy change. This new policy changes how Upwork Connects are required when you're submitting a job proposal and also increases the price of Connects if you are to run out of them and want to purchase more. So now when you submit a job proposal, it's going to require 1 to 6 Connects, and that's going to depend on the specific job. So the type of job, the estimated value of the job, the duration, the budget, all those things are going to factor into how many connects are required. For example, say you have a job with a budget of $40 and then you have one with $1,000. The job that has a $1,000 budget is going to require more connects than the $40 budget. And then for the price of Upwork Connects, those were increased to 15 cents a piece. So if you run out of your Upwork Connects and you want to purchase more, they're going to be 15 cents each. So I know your initial thought may be, Upwork's just doing this to make more money. They're just trying to increase the prices, make it more difficult for freelancers, and make more money. But let me give you a perspective that you need to be thinking about from a client perspective. One of the main issues for Upwork clients is feeling overwhelmed and not being able to find the best talent because of how many job proposals are being submitted for their jobs. When a client has to scroll through numerous amounts of job proposals, trying to find the best fit for them, it gets overwhelming when they're having to go through so many. And trust me, I have an Upwork employer account, so I know that a lot of the job proposals that come through should not be coming through. A lot of them aren't taking the time that they need to take to make sure they're applying for the jobs that give them the best chance to actually win the job. They're going through with low effort, submitting a bunch of proposals, thinking that, hey, if I submit a large number of proposals, I'm gonna get one of these jobs. That does not work, and you're never gonna get a job if that's your mindset. So when you think about this Connect policy change, think about it in terms of the client and yourself as a freelancer. It's beneficial for both ends. The client won't have to scroll through as many job proposals from a bunch of freelancers who shouldn't even be bidding on their job. And then for your benefit as the freelancer, your job proposal is going to be ranked higher because you're going to be submitting proposals on jobs that best fit your skills, best fit the requirements, and it's going to give you a better chance to rank higher and be noticed by the clients. So in this video, what I'm doing for you is I'm going to give you 10 steps to take before you submit a job proposal. These 10 steps are going to make sure that you're submitting the right job proposals to give you the best chance to win a job over other freelancers. Before we get into the 10 steps, I ask one thing of you. If you get value from this video, it's beneficial to you, and you enjoy the content and all the freelance content that I'm putting on my channel, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel as well so you don't miss out on all my future videos. Also, be sure to check out the description of this video. There's going to be a link in it where you can go enter your email address, then you can download a free PDF checklist. It's going to have a lot of the steps that we're talking about here in this video for submitting a job proposal. It's a checklist that you can go through each time that you're submitting a job proposal to make sure that you're not skipping anything. So again, it's completely free. It's down in the description of this video. Just click on the link. It'll take you to a web page. You enter your email address and then you can download it. Step number 1, fully read the job title and the job description. After coming across a job title that falls within your skill set and looks like something you can do, make sure that you're reading the entire job description, the full job description, read it all in detail. Sure, I get it. This is something everyone should know, but it's something that's easily overlooked, and I know that from my own personal experience. In my early days freelancing on Upwork, I focused way too heavily on the job title. I would apply for jobs without reading the full job description because I saw the title and it looked like something I could do. So what ended up happening as a consequence, I either never heard back from the client, never got an interview, or I got an interview and we got on a phone call and I realized I didn't have all the skill set that they needed because I didn't go through the full job description. And I know that if you've been on Upwork for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll see a job title, oh, this is perfect. This is definitely something that's within my skill set. I'll find something that says like SQL Server Database Administration. And then I go and read the job description, and then there's things in there like wanting to build a front-end application in C#. Obviously does not fall within the database aspect of it. I know that you guys have been freelancing for a while, know what I'm talking about. So make sure that you're reading the full job description in detail to save connects so you don't bid on jobs that you don't have the skills for, end up wasting your connects, wasting your time doing an interview. You could be applying that to jobs that you're actually qualified for and have the skill set for. Make sure that you're reading the full job description, to save your connects. And on top of saving connects, it also comes down to submitting the right job proposals that's going to get you the job, and it's going to lead you to having a 5-star review because you're not taking something that you're not qualified for and you don't feel comfortable doing in the first place. Step number 2. Check the skill level. Are you using appropriate filters when searching for jobs and projects? You need to be using advanced filters and searches when you're looking for Upwork jobs so that you're searching for the right skill levels. So before you submit a job proposal, look at the desired skill level that the client listed on the job. If your skill level is entry level or intermediate and you're looking at expert level jobs, you may want to pay close attention to that because you may not have the desired skills. In my personal journey as a freelancer, when I first started, I had my skill set to intermediate level. I mainly did this because I was brand new to freelancing. I wanted to prove to myself that I could be a freelancer, and I wanted to be able to take on jobs that I knew I could do well on, where the expectations weren't set too high at expert level when I didn't have any jobs completed yet. Let's take a quick look at my job history on my profile, and I'll show you a couple of these jobs that were intermediate level that I started out on first, and I ended up getting 5-star reviews because I delivered on them. Alright, so here we are on my profile, and I'll give you one quick tip before we go take a look at a couple of jobs. So as you can see, my job success score is currently at 99%. Now the reason for this is because I have 30 jobs in progress. I need to go through these jobs, close out the ones that aren't active anymore, and just tell my clients that if they have more work for me, then they can just open up a new project because they're always fine doing that. So there are several things that factor into your job success score. You can highlight over it, and if you click this link, it'll give you descriptions of each of these. One of them is jobs in progress that are inactive. That factors into your job success score, so mine basically consistently goes back and forth between 99% and 100%, and it's always due to my jobs in progress. So every one of your reviews could be 5 stars, and pretty much all of mine are. I have a couple that are like 4.8. But basically you can have all 5-star reviews like these, but your job success score will continuously bounce between 98% and 100% because of how many inactive jobs that you have open. So you can join me and start going through all your inactive jobs and trying to get reviews for those. But anyway, let's scroll down and take a look at a couple specific jobs. Okay, so these first few jobs were definitely expert level, and you can tell that based on the money that I made on them and the hourly rates. But if we take a look at the next one, we can see that this one was for $27 an hour. I ended up making almost $2,000 on it, which is great. And if we take a look at the date started, we can see that I started this job in August of 2016. So I began my career on Upwork as a freelancer in May of 2016, so this was very early in my freelance journey. So if we click on this job, so the first and most important thing on this job is that I got 5 stars on everything. I got great feedback. Let me tell you one thing. If clients believe in you, they trust you, you have great reviews, the money will come. Focus more on the reviews you're getting, the trust you're gaining in your clients, and all the money that you want will come to you. So in this job, I fully read the title, fully went through the job description, and then I checked the skill level as well to make sure at that time it was either entry level or intermediate, which is what I was focusing on. And then to show you one more job, this was the first job that I ever had on Upwork as a freelancer. You can see that it was for $25 an hour, ended up making $1,000 on it, and it started in June of 2016, right after I created my account. Most importantly, again, focus on this review and focus on this feedback that I got. This is so important when you first start freelancing. You need these. And then if we click on this job, again, fully went through the job title, fully went through the description, and we get down to the skill level, again, entry level, intermediate, that's what I was focusing on. So make sure that you're filtering and searching for the right skill levels. And if you don't know how to do this, check out the card at the very top of the screen. I'm going to link a video in where I go through and explain how to use Upwork search and rank higher in search, and within that video, I go through and do filtered searches. Step number 3, check the date and the time posted. Before you submit a job proposal, you need to check the date and time that the job was posted on Upwork. To give you a personal example, when I first started on Upwork, I didn't pay enough attention to the date and time created. What ended up happening as a result is that I submitted proposals on jobs that clients were no longer active on, and they had been posted a long time ago. I just looked at the title and description, decided it met my skill set and what I wanted to do on Upwork. I submitted proposals, but the clients weren't even looking at those jobs anymore because they were created so long ago. So let's go ahead and look at a real life example. I'm going to show you an example on Upwork right now of a job that was posted a long time ago that the client is not active on. Okay, so here we are looking for new jobs. Scrolling down, oh wow. Ongoing remote position, SQL Server, DBA, 20 to 40 hours a week, wow.
That looks amazing, a lot of work, and this client's also spent over $300,000. I'm gonna go ahead and bid on this one. So we can see that I did submit a proposal here, but just ignore that and pretend that I didn't. So we're scrolling down. This job's still active, by the way, which is why I'm showing this to you. So for the title, check, definitely something I have a ton of experience in. But look at what we have right under the title. Posted 7 months ago. So I don't know about you, but if a client posted a job 7 months ago, I'm gonna assume that they're probably not looking to fill this anymore. But how can we verify this? Maybe this job's just been open for a long time, but they're still actually trying to find a good fit. So here's what we can do. We're gonna scroll down and boom, here we go. Activity on this job. Second line down. Last viewed by client 17 days ago. So they've definitely viewed this job within the past 7 months from when it was posted. However, they haven't even looked at this in over 2 weeks. Your odds of actually getting this job are pretty low. And honestly, the odds of them actually hiring someone at this point for a job that's been open for 7 months and they've only looked at it once in the past 2 weeks, this is not worth the risk of losing connects over trying to get this job. This job's been open way too long. So be sure to check when the job was actually posted and the last time that the client viewed the job as well. In the example that we looked at, the client hadn't even looked at their job in over 2 weeks. That is a big red flag for me. I'm not gonna put forth 6 connects, up to 6 connects, trying to bid on this job when they're not even looking at it. Step number 4, check the number of proposals submitted. When an Upwork job is fairly new and there's a low level of proposals submitted for the job, you have the best chance for your proposal to get noticed. Typically, I find it best to submit proposals when there's only been 5 to 10 submitted. That's when you're gonna have the best chance. And again, this ties into why I think the recent policy on Upwork Connects is a good idea. The new policy is going to limit the amount of spam submitting, people submitting proposals that they shouldn't be on jobs. It's gonna decrease the number of proposals that are submitted for a given job, giving you a better chance to get noticed on the jobs that matter to you. Again, a personal experience example, I have an Upwork employer account. I've hired freelancers to help me with my business and scaling things up. So when I created my job, I started to get a bunch of proposals. Pretty early on, I had a short-listed few freelancers that I was really interested in. So after about 3 or 4 days, I had 20 to 50 proposals submitted on the job that I posted. Now from personal experience, that was overwhelming. I didn't want to take the time to go through 20 to 50 proposals to see if there was someone better than the few freelancers already had shortlisted. That alone is why this step is very important. You need to make sure that you're applying for the jobs that best fit your skills fast, so you're going to be noticed by the freelancers and get shortlisted before all those build up. But when you come across jobs that look really intriguing to you, they meet all your skills, they meet all the check marks. You take a look at that job, there's 50 plus proposals submitted on that job. You need to take a hard look at it and see if it's worth risking your connects over that. Because especially if you're a new freelancer and you get thrown into the mix with 50 plus proposals, your chance of being noticed in all that mix is going to be very low. So for all the new freelancers, I'll show you again what I mean here. So here we are scrolling down looking at jobs, 50 plus proposals, 50 plus proposals, 50 plus proposals. Your chance of actually being noticed in that big group of proposals, especially if you're a new freelancer, is extremely low. And I'm saying this to help you not waste your connects. I did this personally. Trust me, you're going to be wasting them if you're bidding on jobs that have 50 plus proposals. That's so many proposals, and yours getting thrown into that huge mix of proposals. There's just a low chance of you actually getting that job. And I'm saying this to help you save connects so you can use those connects on jobs where you have a great chance of getting hired and winning. Step number 5, check the number of freelancers being interviewed. Before submitting a proposal, it's also really important to check the number of freelancers that are being interviewed and being considered by the client. That means if the client is already interviewing some freelancers who they shortlisted for their job and favorited, if they're already interviewing these freelancers, if you submit a proposal, it has a less chance of being noticed and you getting an interview as well, because they've already narrowed their list down. They've already found a few freelancers who they're really interested in, and odds are they're going to end up hiring one of those. So again, let's quickly look at an example of what I'm talking about. So here we are in our list of jobs. We're going to scroll down and we'll click on this one. Taking a look at all the job details, we're going down further. Here we are, activity on this job. interviewing 5. So they're already interviewing 5 freelancers. They also sent out 8 invites. They're probably interviewing most of the ones that they actually invited to the job. So if you take a look at the activity on a job, there's a ton of proposals submitted. They're interviewing freelancers already. They invited a bunch. Your odds of actually getting an interview and winning this job are pretty low. And let me just show you something. Is that worth losing 6 connects over? Bidding on a job that already has that many proposals, that many people being interviewed, are you willing to lose 6 connects at a chance that's very, very, very low of you getting an interview as well? Step number 6. Check the number of connects required to submit a proposal. Now this step obviously is one of the main steps and what a lot of this video is geared around. Now when you submit a proposal on Upwork, you're going to have to use between 1 and 6 connects, unless the client invited you to bid on their job. If you receive an invite from a client to submit a proposal, that doesn't take any connects. That's the way it was before. That's the way it is now. You don't have to use connects if you're invited. But for all the other jobs, if you're going to submit a proposal, you're going to have to use between 1 and 6 connects. So on step 5, when we looked at the example, I showed you at the top where it showed the amount of connects that were required. For that specific job, it required 6 connects. So when you're going through your checklist, you're checking off everything, you get to the connects. If it takes 6 connects, but everything's checking off, go ahead and bid on it. So when you're looking at a job, and let's just say for instance, this one takes 6 connects. You're looking at the job, things are checking off. You get to a point where a couple things aren't really checking off that well, or you're really kind of unsure if it's gonna fit your skills, and you're gonna have a great chance of being noticed by the client. If it's gonna take 6 connects, you might want to reconsider if you should bid on that job or not. And I say that because a new job that better fits your skills, better checks off on everything, could get posted right now, even as we're talking. And you would have a better chance of being noticed by the client, getting an interview, and ultimately winning. Step number 7, check client reviews. Just like Upwork clients are going to go to your profile, they're going to look at your reviews and your feedback. You need to do the same for the client. Meaning that you need to be looking at the reviews and the feedback that freelancers are leaving the client whose job you're interested in. Obviously for new Upwork clients, you won't be able to do this one. However, for pre-existing clients who've already been on Upwork for a while, already worked with a lot of freelancers, they're gonna have reviews and feedback from freelancers. I've personally worked with over 88 different clients on Upwork. Almost all of them have been amazing clients to work with. However, there have been a few very difficult clients that I've worked with. And you can ask any freelancer who's been on Upwork for a long time, I guarantee you they've worked with a few clients that were really difficult. So to prevent putting yourself in this type of situation, what you can do is you can look at the client's reviews, go through those, see what freelancers are saying about them, about their communication, about their professionalism. Go look at those reviews. And again, let's take a look at an example. Okay, so let's look at a specific example. Scrolling down, we're gonna click on this job, SSRS and Power BI developer. Taking a look at the right-hand side of the job, we can see that this client has 22 reviews and 4.98 average stars, which is very good. So let's scroll down and take a look at some specifics. Okay, so here's the client history. Let's look at what freelancers are saying. Awesome client. Great to work with. Prompt communication, clear in explaining requirements. Wonderful experience. Wonderful experience. 5 stars. Wonderful experience. Again, tons of 5 stars. Awesome client. Always available. Great working with them. A couple of bad ones, but you can see they also left the freelancer bad reviews. So here's a great example of when you probably want to look at more than one review. 3 stars or less, like this one, is definitely a bad review, but we can also see that they left the freelancer a pretty low review. And if you take a look at all their other jobs and they have all these 5 stars, great reviews from freelancers, then odds are the reason why this freelancer gave them a bad review was because they didn't deliver and they knew that they were going to receive a poor review. So that's something you might want to look at as well. But taking a look at all the other reviews, amazing work ethics, clear communication, there's so many great reviews about this client. They would be a great one to work with in my opinion. So just like Upwork clients are going to be looking at your profile to see what other Upwork clients are saying about you and what feedback they're giving you, you need to be looking at the same thing on the Upwork clients' jobs as well. You definitely want to be in a great working relationship with Upwork clients. I have some of the same clients that I've had since I started on Upwork. I have a lot of long-term work from them. Those are the type of jobs that you want. They're going to make you a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of trust in each other. So make sure you're looking at the reviews of the Upwork clients to make sure you're setting yourself up to work with someone that's going to be great and someone long-term. Step number 8. Check hours per week if hourly, and also check the project length. Before submitting a job proposal, you need to ask yourself this question: do you have the availability to accommodate the client's needs? Now, a lot of jobs are going to say hours to be determined. However, there are a lot of clients that specify a certain amount of hours, such as more than 30, less than 30. So you need to be able to make sure that your schedule is going to accommodate that and fit that type of requirement. And then also for project length, make sure that your schedule, your availability is going to accommodate the length of the project. So if a client has a project length listed as 1 to 3 months, you need to make sure that for the next 1 to 3 months, you're going to be able to work on that project. And I don't mean that you can't do anything else besides work on this project for the next 1 to 3 months. It means that for the next 1 to 3 months, depending on the hours, depending on the scope, all the deliverables that you have to do for the job, you need to make sure that for the next 1 to 3 months, you're going to be able to fit those into your schedule. Now let's go ahead and take a look at a specific example of where you can view these things at when you're looking at Upwork jobs. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at a specific job. So scrolling down, let's click on this one. So here we can see that this job is estimated to have more than 30 hours per week. So at 30 hours per week, can you fit that into your schedule? Do you have 30 hours a week in your schedule to free up for this job? And then also the project length right beside of it, more than 6 months. So for the next 6 months, is this a job that you can keep working on? Do you have 30 hours per week for more than 6 months that you can dedicate to a new job? If you do, great, you can check this one off on your checklist. If not, then you probably should not bid on this job because you're not going to be able to accommodate the requirements for hours and the length as well. So be sure to check both the hour requirements and the project length as well. The last thing that you want to do is win a job from a client, start working on it, not be able to fulfill the hour requirements and the project length as well. It's going to leave a dissatisfied client, it's going to give you a bad review, and that's something that you really need to avoid. Step number 9. Check preferred qualifications. Upwork clients set preferred qualifications to limit and filter down to the specific freelancers and talent that they're looking for to fulfill their job. Now, if you go to submit a proposal, there's going to be a red icon on the preferred qualifications if you don't meet those. You need to take a look at this because you probably shouldn't be submitting a proposal on a job that you don't meet the requirements for. Upwork clients list those for a reason because they're looking for specific talent, specific freelancers. If you don't meet those requirements and you still bid on it anyway, you're basically throwing your connects away. Let's take a look at a specific example of what I'm talking about. So again, we're going to open up the same job that we just looked at a moment ago. And now scrolling down to where the activity section is, we're going to see preferred qualifications. So preferred qualifications, talent type, independent. So this means that they want an independent freelancer, not an agency. Job success score has to be at least 90% or higher. English level has to be at least conversational. Upwork hours, so this is how many hours you've worked on Upwork. They want someone that's at least worked 500 hours. Now, if you don't meet these requirements, let's say you had a job success score of like 80%. I would not bid on this job because they're probably not going to give you a chance. Now, for instance, let's say that you don't have 500 hours worked on Upwork, but you had somewhere between 300 to 400. If you met all the other qualifications except for hours, but you were really close on hours, then you could consider still submitting a proposal for this job because you were really close, and they may still give you a chance because you were really close on the hour requirement and you checked off on everything else. Step number 10, check the bid range. Now for bid range, what I'm talking about is the high, the average, and the low rates that freelancers are bidding on the job. Now let's go ahead and take a look at a specific example of what I'm talking about. So again, same job example, we're going to go ahead and click on it. And now if we scroll down, we can see the bid range. So the high bid range on this job is $61 an hour, the average is $27.90 an hour, and the low is $15 an hour. So you can see on average, freelancers are bidding around $30 an hour for this job. So the next step to check in combination with the bid range is the skill level. So this client is looking for intermediate, so they're looking for a mix of experience and value. So bidding $61 an hour or higher on this job is probably too high and not going to give you a chance to be considered because it's higher than the rate that they're actually looking for. So for intermediate skill level looking for experience and value, they don't really have any history where I can look at what they've paid in the past for similar intermediate skill level jobs. Since they don't have that history, What I would do is I would bid somewhere between $27 an hour or maybe $25 an hour and $30 an hour. If you hit that range, you're probably going to be setting yourself up pretty well. And again, this is an intermediate level job. This isn't expert. If this job were an expert level job, you better believe I would be bidding a lot higher. My hourly rate now is $100 an hour. That's pretty much what I do for everything unless it's fixed price. So if you want higher hourly rates, it obviously ties to the skill level. And now for a bonus tip. Once you go through the checklist, you're looking at a specific job, you start checking everything off. Everything checks off and you're ready to submit a proposal. The first 1 to 2 sentences of your proposal is what the client is gonna see first. So when an Upwork client has a huge list of proposals from freelancers, your first 1 to 2 sentences of your job proposal is what they're gonna see. And we're gonna take a look at that right now. I logged into my personal Upwork client account that I use that I've hired freelancers on. We're gonna go in and we're gonna take a look at a proposal and see the first 1 to 2 sentences of that proposal. Alright, so now we're logged into my Upwork employer account. This is a job I created for my YouTube video editing when I was looking for a video editor. I obviously hired Alex, who's editing this video right now. The guy's amazing. I'll talk about him in a lot of my videos. Anyway, this is his job proposal. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Okay, so here's the first 1 to 2 sentences. Look at his cover letter in his job proposal. Hello, I'm a professional video editor and motion graphics artist in Los Angeles, and your post jumped out at me. Ideas for your channel and be yourself, there's no one on earth like you. So his first 1 to 2 sentences were very appealing to me and they grabbed my attention. He briefly described that he's a video editor and motion graphics artist, what I was exactly looking for, also saying that my post jumped out at him, and then not only that, but he offered ideas for my channel right from the start. So when you're orchestrating your job proposal and your cover letter and you're saying things like, hi, my name is Josh Burns, I have this many years of experience doing this, blah, 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 blah. That's probably going to get skipped over. It's not jumping out at them, obviously. You need to be thinking in a way to get the client to take action. Write your first 1 to 2 sentences to get them to take action, to jump off the web page at them. Get them to take action and get them to look more into you as a freelancer. So before you submit a job proposal on Upwork, make sure that you're going through these steps. Go to the description of this video, download my checklist, go through it each time as well. Not only will these steps help you save connects, and that's very important now with the policy change, what it's also going to do, it's going to help you submit the right job proposals for the right jobs. It's going to give you the best chance to win jobs over other freelancers, to get those long-term clients that you're going to make a lot of money on. And if you're not getting jobs, don't look outward. Don't look at Upwork and be like, well, I just can't get any jobs there. It's too hard to get jobs there. Don't look outward like that. There's so many freelancers on Upwork who have made so much money. I've personally made over $400,000 on Upwork, and I'm on pace to break $500,000 this year. There's so many other freelancers who have made more than me. All this stuff is public. You can go search for freelancers and view it yourself. I've seen freelancers who have made $600,000 plus, $1 million plus. There's so many successful freelancers on Upwork. So what do I do when things aren't going well for me? I look inward. What am I doing wrong? What could I do better? What can I change to give myself a better chance to win jobs and beat out other freelancers? You have to look inward. If you keep looking outward, you're never going to improve. You're always going to be looking for something that's wrong, some type of excuse that you can give yourself for why you're not winning and why you're not getting jobs. And when you're looking for excuses, you're looking outward at all the external forces. You're going to be giving half-ass effort and not giving your full potential. And I don't know about you, but I am not okay with not giving it my all, with not trying to reach my full potential. I am not okay with leaving things on the table that later on in my life, I'm going to look back on and be like, you know what? I wish I would have went a little bit harder. I wish I would have grinded a little bit harder. I wish I would have taken more risk. I'm not okay with that. Make sure that you keep leaving comments with your success stories as well. I love hearing those and I want to keep hearing about those. Take a look at Silvio's right now. He has been absolutely killing it on Upwork as a freelancer. He's watched my videos, implemented my tips, and now he's reaping all the benefits from it. Keep going, man, and don't let up. So if you're struggling to get jobs, you're struggling with your job proposals, you're struggling on Upwork in general as a freelancer, look inward. What can you do? What can you change? Look inward at yourself. That is going to give you the best results. And when you start improving on yourself each and every day, you keep making progress, you keep getting better, the results will come, and you're going to make more money and more money and more money as a freelancer, and ultimately lead you wherever you want to go. Also, be sure to check out the description box of this video. I recently created a Patreon account for the channel. Not only will it allow you guys to support the channel and allow me to make more content and get over the 1 video a week that I've been doing for you, to get that up to 2 videos or even more than that as well. But what it also provides you with are different rewards per tier. Now, these tiers include things like poll-based voting on future content, so you'll get to voice your opinion on the content that I'm creating for you. They also have rewards like a monthly 10-minute call with me to discuss any freelancing questions that you have, personal development, and channel content. I literally get so many DMs about freelancing questions that I can't reply to all of them, so this is a way for you guys to be able to support the channel and for me to answer any questions that you have. And then even higher level tiers are going to include things like monthly Google Hangout sessions. We're going to have a group Hangout session to focus on training and discussion around freelancing and then channel content as well. And then the highest level includes a monthly one-on-one Google Hangout session with me where we will cover a predefined topic. We can go through your freelance profile, your portfolio. We will go over any freelancing questions that you have to get you set up for success. So again, be sure to check out the description box of this video for the Josh Burns Tech Patreon. Become a supporter of the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I love making content for you guys, and I want to dedicate more of myself to doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you. On this end screen, I recommend checking out these videos, and be sure to hit that round subscribe button for weekly tech videos, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching, and until next time.
Yeah, all about the Benjamin.